Hi guys, I'm Pauline and I'm the new owner of Pumpkin, and we bought Pumpkin from Alan at the farm on Route 66. And I just thought I'd show my face and this is the first selfie I've ever taken in my life. And I've been putting it off forever. Uh, but I decided to do it because I'm starting this little channel for Pumpkin and you probably won't see me again. At least not close up. But I just wanted you to know that she came to a safe place. We're not a fancy facility. I'm not a professional horse trainer. I've had horses for 30 years, but they've always been old horses that needed rehabilitating or else, with problems that other people didn't want to deal with. Um, and then I also have a couple of horses that I got when they were younger, but we were in the military, we were both veterans, and we were moving around a lot, so I never really got to ride, and I had a little toddler, and it just never worked out. We never had family close by, and we never really made any friends, to be honest, because I'm a very much a loner, so I don't really put myself out there. But I just never got to ride very much, and now I'm getting older and I've still got horses that I can't ride, and I love my horses. But I thought I've got to start thinking about, getting a horse to ride before it's too late. Well, I know Pumpkin is very young and I probably won't be riding her, at least not for quite a while. But I did actually find another horse online at the same time that I was looking for Pumpkin, so I was really torn with what to do, and I decided to get them both. So the other horse, her name is Saraband. I had to think of that because I just named her Saraband after the 16th century dance, the 16th century court dance. Anyway, she came in yesterday. My husband picked her up yesterday, and she's going to be Pumpkin's herd mate, like a companion. And she's also an older horse, and she's been ridden all over the mountains in North Carolina by a young kid, I think. And then lately she's been at the stables teaching little children to ride. So I think she's going to be very safe for me, and I'm going to get some help too for lessons, or just help getting to know her and riding again, because it's a long time since I rode, and I never was, a really great rider because I never got a chance. But I've been horse crazy since I was about 4 years old, and my granddad on my dad's side was in the British cavalry, in the mounted cavalry, and he was out in India, the Middle East and India, back in the 1920s. And so he was my hero. And so I think I get my love of horses from him. And he's the one that first put me on a pony when I was 7 years old. That took off with me, actually, which is another story. And so I've dreamt of horses from being 4 years old, and sitting in school, I could look out of the windows and see horses on the hillsides. And I'm from England, of course, you probably tell. And I remember listening to the teacher, and my eyes were always drifting off to the horses on the hillside, and I gave them names even though they weren't my horses. So it's almost like a genetic thing, I think, at a cellular level, maybe. Because it's like there's always horses on my mind. It's been that way all my life. Anyway, so I decided to get Pumpkin. I wanted you to know that she was safe, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with her yet. I have some ideas, and this channel might be like watching paint dry because she's young, and I'm not Blake, so I won't be doing all kinds of crazy stuff with her. But I'll let you follow along with the small things I do. I'll be doing groundwork with her and just getting to know her and experimenting. And then next year, when she's grown and she's matured a bit and her bones are where they should be, I'm going to look for a trainer probably to put her with, and then we'll go from there. And then maybe I'll take lessons on her, or I have other plans that might do, but I'll let that unfold as time goes by. So I'll try to make videos, and like I say, it's going to be very slow, but maybe I can think of some things that are interesting to other people. And like I say, I'm an older person, so if you're also older and you're into horses, or you feel like you're getting too old to be into horses, there are other things you can do. You don't have to be riding all the time. Um, and I'm a, I'm pretty much a beginner when it comes to a lot of stuff. Most of my life has been feeding horses and um, taking care of their ailments. So not so much the actual horsemanship handling kind of stuff. So it's a bit nerve-wracking putting myself out there, because there's a lot of experienced horse people out there that are going to say this woman doesn't know what she's doing, or she's doing it wrong. But after you reach 60, you really couldn't care less what other people think. So I'm going to just go for it. And I do want to thank Alan, because he was wonderful to work with, and Robert, who transported her, who gave me just a wonderful price that it meant that I could afford to get her. Because at first I contacted some other horse haulers, and there was no way I could afford their prices. And I would really like to thank Wayne and Malachi and Daisy. And if you look in the description, you'll see the story of Pumpkin and how she came to end up with Alan. And they were, it's hard thing to give up your animals when you don't know where they're going, but they wanted to give the horses a chance to get good homes. And so I do want to shout out to them and thank them, because they've made me very happy. I don't know where the other horses went, but I'm just thrilled to pieces to have Pumpkin. And what's really thrilling me to pieces is that she likes me. And she follows me around. She wants to stand next to me when I go in her little paddock. But first, I'll start with the preparations before we got her and getting ready for her. So I think this is all I can say on here for now. I'm getting tongue-tied, and I'm very nervous about talking on the camera. So thank you for watching, and I hope the videos will be interesting to some people, and especially older people like me, who might feel, a bit past it, because I was getting to the point of feeling a bit past it. And believe me, we've had a very, very rough 3 years, lots of death in the family, lots of grief. I feel like I'm coming out of a deep, dark hole, and I think the horses are kind of bringing me out of that. So I'm beginning to get interested in things again, because believe me, it was bad, and I couldn't eat, and I got down to about 89 pounds, and then it was really bad. So I'm doing better now. And so I've got Pumpkin and my new horse Saraband, and another horses, so I'll show you all the other animals on the farm too. And so thank you, and like I say, you might not see me again, but thank you for watching.